wineskins, and both are preserved. The gospel of the Lord. When I was looking over this gospel to prepare for this morning's homily, the one thing that really stuck out to me is the very last line, where it says that the one pours the new wine into the fresh wineskins, and both are preserved. And I think what our Lord was trying to explain to the followers of John the Baptist, it's not so much that he was about trying to abolish every practice, every tradition that the Jewish people knew, but instead what he was doing was he was introducing a fulfillment of what they had been practicing for centuries. This was something new to them. They had never encountered someone like Jesus before. And Jesus wasn't saying that everything you've ever done before was wrong, but quite the contrary. There's even more. And that more is the something new that he's talking about. And the only way to open your heart enough to accept something new, something that is a fulfillment, is to be prepared to sometimes let go of something that's all you've ever known up to that point. And so what you have here is you have the apostles of John the Baptist, and in the Gospel of Mark, they also mention the Pharisees, and they question it. And certainly, his critics were always looking for different ways to try to find something to criticize him for. It was their practice, typically, to fast on Mondays and Thursdays. So they were fasting twice a week, and they weren't noticing Jesus and his apostles doing that. So here was yet another way to think, we found a reason why he's not really the teacher and the man of authority that he claims to be. But what Jesus was also doing was he was trying to break them a little bit out of their closed mindset. Because it's not just about a new way of doing things, but it's also, because this comes right after they had just questioned why our Lord associated with tax collectors and sinners. It was also our Lord's way of saying that not only is the message of God just for the Jewish people, but it's actually for the whole world. And part of accepting the rest of the world is being willing to open your hearts a little bit more and recognize that God wasn't just the God of Israel, but the God of the whole world. And so this is a connection between those two gospel messages of what our Lord was trying to tell people in response to their questions. He was bringing something new. He wasn't completely abolishing the old, but the only way for both to be preserved is to open yourself to what he was bringing. And I think that was the message he wanted us to understand.